We are back, and I'm glad to announce that I got a male dummy, and that's because I have been promising you guys some male content. So many people are like, Sheila, don't you make male tutorials as well, like tutorials for the males or for our male friends? And yeah, we are back to do that. And I had promised to start off with a chevron shirt that I talked about in one of my live videos, my previous live videos. But I won't be able to put out the chevron shirt first because it requires a lot. There's a lot going on in the pipeline and a lot of recording. The stitch is kind of very tricky, and it takes a long time to actually record. So I was like, why not just start with the classic granny stitch shirt? And yeah, you're going to have it from me. I'm very sure so many people have done these tutorials, but trust me, none is like mine. I've gone into in depth, trying to explain to you everything to consider. And this design is going to go all the way to 5XL. So that's the sizing chart that I have for this design. Right now, I'm trying to attach sleeves. This is just a basic granny square, but by the end of it all, it's going to look very neat and finished. And it will actually not even look handmade, maybe. I'm just excited to see the final look because I've already taken some images and it looks so beautiful even before I finish everything. So if I'm to calculate, I have made a total of 25, 35, 45, 49, 50, about 53 squares, guys. If I'm to put everything together, and then there's also still shaping, the border lines, those final touches that mean a lot to me, they have to come back to this design. So right now what I'm doing is just working on the sleeves and attaching them to the main body of the shirt. This is going to be pretty much like the granny stitch shirt that you guys loved so much. That tutorial has so many views, the pattern has so many buyers, so much feedback. So I was like, oh, I guess people love the male content as well. So I have been working in the background and I have produced several panels for the men, but I have been waiting on my dummy to arrive because I don't have a male model. So yesterday I got my dummy delivered, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Let's first work on the sleeves so that we can see how everything is going, so that we can see the fitting on this dummy. This dummy is size medium for the men, according to my sizing chart. I've already taken my measurements. So I guess I'm going to be dropping some shorts, some matching sets for the men. So nothing is limiting me right now. Hi, good morning. Good morning. What are you making? I'm making a granny square t-shirt for men. I'm going to give it my own twist. It's not going to be as plain as you see it right now. I'm going to put a twist to it a little bit so that I can make it personalized, but also not drawing away from the basic granny square shirt, because you know when it comes to men, nothing much complicated. I feel like you have to just keep it simple, and the choice of colors that I went with is already dramatic, so I'm going to try and keep it a little bit calm. And then maybe I will repurpose these granny squares. I actually thought about it. After making my granny square dress, I was like, okay, is that it? I feel like you can repurpose these squares and you make something different from them. You can keep bringing them back and making different projects out of them. without actually starting over, especially if the pieces haven't been bought. You can repurpose them and make totally different outfits. So the attaching process takes a while, but let's see. Oh, I started from the middle of the sleeve. I thought I had started from the top, but it's okay. Let me just flip it over. The joining process, I'm actually not feeling very tired when I'm working on this because, come on, by the time you go through the process of the granny squares, the construction of the granny squares, this should be a piece of cake. This is literally like the final lap of your project. So the most hectic part is the granny squares. Good morning. Thanks for your hard work, for giving us elderly the energy to pick up our hooks again with your lovely patterns. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, as I had mentioned, this design is going to run all the way from extra small to 5XL, and it's not that I'm going to give you instructions for each and every size, but I've given you basic instructions to follow in order to achieve your particular size. To be a made-to-measure piece, just like my other pieces. So for me, I'm demonstrating for a size medium for this design, and so far so good. It's coming along so well. I've actually tried it. I wish I had taken a photo. The photo is on this particular phone that I'm using for the live video, so I somehow can't share it. Let me see. Does YouTube Live have how to attach images just like Instagram? I've taken a while without. Oh yeah. This is what things look like. Guys, look at this. Oh my God. This is more like the green screen. This is the very first time using this feature. And wow. Okay, so this is what everything looks like. And now I'm working on the sleeves so that we can do some more shaping around the front. The front is still very open, and it's giving us more room to actually construct and keep growing this piece. So yesterday, okay, this is interesting. So I'm going to be sharing what I was talking about. Oh, I can't go to video, but I have tried to lay out the shirt the way it is, and that's what it looks like. Now, when it comes to the neckline, I have an opening there. Still, there's a lot of opening at the front, which gives me so much room to work with when it comes to design or any other details that I would like to add. So yeah, that's how far I've gone. I thought, yeah, actually this is my dummy, my male dummy, and it's going to help us do the dress up for the men and also give us beautiful fitting for the men's wear. So yeah, this will make much more sense, me having this dummy as opposed to just guessing, because I'm more familiar with the female body than the male. So yeah, that's what it was about. Okay, thank God I've gotten to know that feature. Helps a lot when you're talking about different things and you need to explain to the people in real time. So you've seen what everything looks like. I want to tell you something. Hi. I want to tell you something. Something or Smith, which is which. I think you should just crochet 1 hour a day. How many hours do you think I crochet? Should I tell you when these granny squares were made? That was August of last year. Guys, just imagine, a year ago, that's when these granny squares were made. They've been in my stash for a while, and I usually don't crochet for so long. I don't. Even today, I've just come in to do the joining, to do a little bit of recording. Because in a day I crochet 8 hours, then I lose my focus. Oh, so sorry about that. But for me, if you see these projects, you may be thinking these, maybe the granny squares were made yesterday or this week, and no. These granny squares were made a year ago, and we are just working on them 1 year later. This was done 2025 in August. We kept the granny squares, and now we are using them to actually create the shirt. I crochet for a very short time in a day. Just that when I'm crocheting, I usually make sure I do a live video, maybe give an update, maybe give an Instagram story update. But that doesn't mean I've crocheted from like 7 a.m. Those are just rare days. That can be like maybe 5 days in a month or 10 days in a month. Not every day. Okay, so, oh my God, I didn't expect this to take this long. Attaching the sleeves onto the main body of the shirt. Okay. I usually also lose focus. That's why I'm always jumping from project to project. I don't know how many whips I have, guys. I do not know. There are quite many. And that's because I just can't focus on one project. Before you know it, I've gotten an idea and I want to see it come to life. I start on it and then put it aside without finishing it. That becomes a whip, and then another one comes up tomorrow, and another one, and another one. Before I know it, it's out of control. I have like 50 whips or even plus, and all the designs are actually good. Now I'm stressed about which one to record, which one to release, which pattern, which tutorial. So that's how I kind of operate. But I'm trying to keep organized. I'm trying to keep myself organized a little bit. Not putting myself on pressure to actually release tutorials. That's why it's been a bit slow lately, but the tutorials are definitely coming. I'm going to give it time. So this is what the sleeve looks like. So I'm almost through with the attaching process. I only have this little distance left because I started from here. So anyone who has been looking for the granny square crochet t-shirt, and one thing about these projects, you can experiment with any color of your choice. Feel free, like have that freedom to pick any color of your choice. You can use scrap yarn. That will be a very beautiful project. You can use any shade of color that you want in order to create your own effect for such designs. For me, I try to keep it uniform because I'm going to record tutorials and you have to keep yourself a little bit organized. You have to kind of play it safe. But if it wasn't for that, I would definitely do a shirt that has 100 colors, if I may, if I could. Or just choose a color palette and then work with those colors and randomly place them Just do your thing. Trust me, it will come out so beautifully. And the thing is, you just can't picture it in your head. You have to actually make it in order for you to see what it will look like. But for me, I played it safe with only 2 colors. I wish I had like 20 colors. Can you show from the beginning? Yes, I'm going to do a tutorial for you guys. I'm actually preparing a tutorial. So this will be my second male t-shirt. We already have the granny stitch, collar shirt, and then this will be the granny square. It's also going to have a collar, I think. I'm still thinking about it. I don't know how the final look is going to be, but it's definitely going to be a very beautiful design. So see that? So I will just go ahead and lengthen the sleeves a little bit, because this is how many inches? Let's see. This is about 4.5, which is really short for a male sleeve. So I am definitely going to push it to 7 inches. I think this is the sweet spot, the comfortable spot, but not with a granny square this time. I am going to find a different approach for the middle of the shirt as well as the sleeve to lengthen it. So it's time for me to flip over my work, and I attach my second sleeve on the opposite side. So I'm making sure that I'm working on the wrong side of the work. Then I just attach everything together. So I had mentioned, I think there are 53 squares. If I'm not mistaken, that's 4 plus 4, that's 8 plus 25, that's, yeah, I think 53 squares. I will be able to mention those squares in the tutorial, so that there is no confusion. Okay, so anyone who wants to say anything, I'm all ears. So for those people who voted for the chevron shirt, it's definitely coming right up. You didn't vote for nothing. I am actually working on it, but it's taking longer than I expected. So that's why I've decided to record this first, because it's a much more approachable design. It has an easier construction and explanation as opposed to the other one. So for those people who are not into thin yarn, this project will test you the most, because I am literally using a single strand. That's the only way you can achieve a lightweight look for your project. So for the granny squares, I use this same exact hook. I am using a 3.5 millimeter. and then a single strand for the granny squares, as well as the joining and everything that comes with it. I haven't used any double strand at any point of this project. Single strand all through. Thank you so much, Zainab. Very talented and successful. May God protect you. Thank you so much, Phyllis. Thank you. So people who have been waiting to make some menswear, I got you covered. This tutorial will be dropping soon. As soon as it's finished, I want to take... Hi, are you going to be making any cardigan tutorial for upcoming winter? Yes, please. I'm working on it. What do you prefer, cardigan or sweater? We already have the golden hour crochet cardigan. I feel like that will also work for this year. And then I'm also working on a Halloween cardigan, not actually cardigan, a sweater. I'm working on a Halloween sweater. Let me show you how it's going. So since we are working and planning ahead of time, I already have my squares here. Look at that. So I'm going to make for you guys a sweater design out of the skulls. We already have the Gostoba cardigan that you guys fell in love with. It was like my hit design for 2024. But this time I'm bringing you a sweater, not a cardigan. Yeah, so everything looks nice and perfect. You can see the panels. So yeah, we are working ahead of time. We are planning for Halloween as well. So this will definitely be something that looks very interesting during that season. If the squares are done, then that means the joining is just a piece of cake. So you can see the panels. The sleeves are here, the main body is here, everything. So I'm just waiting to put everything together in order to make the whole cardigan. And then I am also working on a patchwork cardigan. I don't know whether it's supposed to be a sweater, cardigan. Just let me know what you prefer. Sweater is open, sweater is closed, and cardigan is open. So this is my color palette. Okay, this looks like a blanket of some sort, but it's supposed to be an oversized crochet piece, and this is my color palette. Look at that, guys. This is my color palette. You can see how the colors are changing. And yeah, let me know what I should make from this. Should it be a cardigan or a sweater? But anyway, I've already planned out how everything is going to work out because I made them according to the measurements and according to the design that I wanted to make. So this is also in the pipeline, and it's a very beautiful palette for fall, as you can see here. So yeah, this is also coming right up. So when I tell you I have 50 plus whips, guys, I'm not joking. I think they can even go up to 100 because my shelf is literally full of projects that have to be worked on. Oh, this is the ribbing for our cardigan. So yeah, your work is clean. Thank you so much. Thank you. So the shelf is full of whips. I just decided that maybe today let me touch on this one. Tomorrow let me touch on this one. Even if I decided not to create a whole new project, I feel like we can go through a year of creating. Okay, so I want to get back on video when I am through with the sleeves. Okay guys, I think it's time for me to get back on video. I'm going to go back to recording the tutorial for this, and yeah, just stay tuned. It will definitely drop on the channel when it is ready, but for now, this is what we have. Looks really, really beautiful, and I'll see you again in my next one. It may not necessarily be this one, but this one is also in the pipeline coming. So thanks for watching guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, have a lovely day.